Before I forget, I want to make sure to show you the advisory framework in Oracle Database 12c. What we're looking at now is Oracle Enterprise Manager Database Express 12c. I wanted to make sure we go in here. I know we've been spending the vast majority of our time in Enterprise Manager Cloud Control 12c, and that's all well and good. Nonetheless, I want to make you aware, if you're not already aware, that the Database Express that is embedded inside the Oracle 12c database does have some degree of functionality in terms of the stats pack and the tuning pack and the diagnostic pack, all of those packs that you need to be careful about paying for a license for if you're going to use them, right? Well, what we're looking at here in Database Express 12c is the Performance Hub, which we can get to from the Performance menu, and you'll see that you can actually view ADDM reports and ADDM findings where they're there. Now, you're not going to get the degree of hand-holding and automation that you have in Cloud Control, but it's certainly better than nothing. As far as the advisory framework is concerned, notice that under the Performance menu in DB Express, we have a link for the SQL Tuning Advisor. Again, this is pretty rich and robust for being an in-box product. On the enterprise of things, let's switch over to my OMS, my Oracle Management Server. If we log into Enterprise Manager Cloud Control and hit a database, I have my P-Site database on the page right here. We can open up Performance and come down to Advisors Home to get an aggregation of all of the various and sundry built-in tuning advisors and checkers. Now remember that these advisors rear their head in different locations. In other words, when we're doing an ADDM check and look at our findings, we'll often see actual buttons that can kick open particular advisors for us. However, the Advisor Central aggregates them all together. Notice that we have advisors that in some cases are multi-step routines, and we also have a checkers tab where you can run just quick integrity checks on various physical objects like the data block, the Oracle block, then logical entities like the undo segments, etc. Specifically, I want to draw your attention to a couple of the advisors here. There's SQL advisors, which is what we're going to tackle in the next lesson, where we learn how to tune SQL in Oracle Database. Let me step back in my browser. And the other advisor is the memory advisor, which is there's really not a whole lot here if you have automatic memory or AMM enabled, which I do. I mean, we can override the total memory size and maximum memory size initialization parameters if we want to. But this advice button is probably the most cogent button in the memory advisors. It can show you, as you increase the amount of memory, where do you reach that point where it's a law of diminishing returns, right? I mean, sizing hardware for a server is an art and a science all to itself, isn't it? Anyway, the rest of this Memory Advisor page will show you reports on allocation history between the PGA and SGA components, and also down at the bottom will show you allocation among those various memory pools on your server. Let's come back to advisors one more time. And if we scroll further down the page, by the way, you see a list of advisor tasks. Remember that Cloud Control operates very heavily in the scheduler and alerting frameworks. We're going to cover schedules and alerts actually in this course a couple lessons from now, a couple modules from now. But you can drill in and look at the specific results of each of those task runs if you want to. There it is. That's a very quick overview of the advisory framework. I essentially just wanted to show you where to locate those controls within Cloud Control, because let's face it, this is a pretty complex web application.